Okay, hey guys, thanks for joining us today. I wanted to talk briefly about our flood insurance program. I'm obviously pleased with the vote. It was 86-12. With that vote, we extended the National Flood Insurance Program by 4 months. You're not going to hear me humming one shining moment, though. This was a small victory, and it could be a temporary victory. There was quite a bit of pushback on the bill. There was quite a bit of objection that we worked out. There's no guarantee that we'll work it out next time. I think these automatic extensions are no longer automatic. I have a lot of sympathy and in many cases agree with a lot of the points made by those in opposition. Their point is we need to reform the NFIP, and I couldn't agree with them more. I'm not happy with crappy either, but I don't want there to be at any point a gap in coverage. And it's clear to me that there are more than just a handful of people in the Senate who think that the only way to get us to enact a reform bill is to allow the program to expire. Now, you look at the vote. I'm going to get down in the weeds for a second. You look at the vote, 86-12, and you say, what's the big deal? You got 86 votes. Yes, but here's the big deal. If somebody objects next time and does not cooperate in terms of their objection, it means that I will have to file a motion for cloture, then wait a full legislative day, not a calendar day, a legislative day, which can be several days. Then, if cloture is invoked, we have to wait an additional 30 hours unless we get unanimous consent. So the point is, in order to reauthorize the program again, it could take an entire week of Senate floor time. And as we get closer toward the end of this Congress and the end of the year, that floor time becomes very precious. And there's no guarantee that the majority leader will say, well, I'm going to devote a week to an extension of the flood insurance program if he's got 10 confirmations pending for circuit court judges or other must-pass legislation that we also need to do. Okay, what do we do about it? I think I've talked to every member of the Senate about the NFIP and the need to reform it, and let's get off square one. I can't make people feel the urgency, and I can't make people understand the need for reform. You know, you can lead a man to Congress, but you can't always make him think. People are entitled to believe what they want to. I am convinced that we're not going to get a consensus, and by that I mean 60 votes on a compromise measure by shuttle diplomacy. I've tried it. We've all tried it. The people who care about this program. It hadn't worked. Everybody talks a good game, but it's kind of like going to heaven. Everybody wants to go, but nobody's ready to make the trip. It's clear to me that the shuttle diplomacy isn't working. Here's what I've asked Chairman Crapo to do. Senator Crapo is chairman of the Banking Committee. I've said, Mike, here's my request. Put a bill in front of the Banking Committee. I don't care which bill you put. Just put a bill in front of the Banking Committee and let's strap it on and let's go, let's saddle up and ride. Let everybody offer amendments, any amendment they want to offer to it. I'll stay there all day and all night for as long as they want to, until all amendments are heard. Let's let senators be senators. Vote on the amendments, yes or no. And at the end, let's vote on a bill, yes or no. I don't know what's going to come out of that process. I may vote no on the final bill, but I don't know any other way to get this off square one. And it's not going to get easier. As you undoubtedly have figured out, this is a fairly partisan place. It's going to get more partisan over the next 2 months with the confirmation hearings and the confirmation vote on Judge Kavanaugh. And even right now, before all the shooting has started, we've gotten down to the point where if one side offers $50, the other side demands two 20s in return just to be difficult. So it's not going to get any easier. And we need to have permanent reauthorization, and we need to fix the program. And the only way I know to do that is to let senators be senators, and let everybody put their idea on the table, and then we can vote on it, yay or nay. And that's kind of where we are. But I don't want to bubble wrap this in terms of long-term projections and what we need to do. I'm happy that with what happened today, Senator Cassidy and I worked very hard, as did Senator Rubio and many others, to get this program reauthorized for 4 months. But I worry that now that the pressure's off, people are just going to go back to the status quo and say, well, we'll worry about it a week before the next deadline. There's no guarantee that we'll be able to reauthorize this thing.
Matt with WFP, you have a question?
I need you to speak up. I can barely hear you.
Senator, I'm curious, why is it important for the people of Louisiana to bring some stability to this program?
Well, it's not just Louisiana. We've got about 500,000 people in Louisiana who have flood insurance. We'd like to have more join the program. More need to join the program. We've got about 5 million nationwide. For most Americans, certainly for most Louisianians, their home is their biggest asset. And their homeowner's insurance does not cover flood. You've got to buy separate flood insurance. And the only practical way to buy it, only feasible way to buy it, is to buy it through the National Flood Insurance Program. There's not much of a market otherwise. Some people who don't understand the importance and don't understand the danger and the devastation caused by flooding just say, well, if you live near water, just move. Give me a break. 50% of the jobs in this country are in or near water. People have been settling and living near water since biblical times, since the time of Moses. Others have argued, well, the only thing the NFIP is used for is to insure the second homes, the beach homes of millionaires. That's nonsense. If you look at the number, that's sure not the case in Louisiana. In our state, the NFIP doesn't insure second homes. It insures the only home that people have and can afford. And if you look at the numbers, 98.5% of all of the policies are written in counties or parishes that have a median family income of less than $100,000. 62% of all of the policies nationwide are written in counties that have a median family income of $54,000, which is the national average. So this program is not for poor people or for rich people. It's for middle class and poor people. So we need the program. Does it have problems? God, it's got so many problems. And it desperately cries out to be fixed. We need better mapping. We're paying the private insurance companies to do the paperwork. They assume no risk, way too much of the money. We don't give locals enough say. Local levy board members and local councilwomen and councilmen, they know the topography better in their area than a bureaucrat in Washington does. We need to fix that. We need to streamline the claims process. We need to rein in FEMA on some of these consultants that it hires. There's so many things that need to be done, and that's why I say I sympathize with the point of view of those who oppose my legislation. I am not happy with crappy either. We've got to fix it. But in order to fix it, You've got to get people to focus on it. And the reason we're in this mess is because there's no sense of urgency in the Senate right now to pass a reform bill. And I'm not going to bubble wrap it. That's just a fact. Which means we can't get an agreement among ourselves. Nobody really wants to focus on it. So that's why I say, then by God, let's let senators do what the people sent us up here to do. Put a bill in front of the banking committee, which has jurisdiction, and open it up. Let anybody offer any amendment they want. And let everybody offer amendments, and we vote yea or nay on them until nobody has another amendment to offer, and then let's vote on a bill. I can't guarantee you I'll vote for the bill. Depends on how it looks. If it hurts my state and hurts the program, I won't vote for it. But at least we'll get this damn thing off square one. Because at the rate we're going, I worry that this 4 months, 3 months and 3 weeks are going to pass, and the last week before the deadline, we're going to be scrambling around yet again to try to reauthorize this program, and I'm not sure we'll be able to reauthorize it. And then a lot of innocent people are going to get hurt because of the refusal of the United States Senate to do its job.